From every strand on the line of your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook, let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Angler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoudinger.
Good evening, everybody. Here, Cajun Rob with you. Mr. John's a little under the weather, so I got the legend himself, Mr. Alvin, filling in for us. How's it going,
Hey,
Alvin?
how's everybody doing? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing great. Everybody out there. So we're doing good, and we have a great guest. I'll let you introduce her, Rob, but I'm really looking forward to this show. John didn't warn me till the last minute, but I actually went and I looked up some stuff.
Oh,
I
cool.
looked at your Instagram account and all that.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, you got to do your homework.
I sent you a friend request on Facebook, so don't.
I saw that. I hit decline. I'm just kidding.
You would be my wife declined too, so you'd be.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, we got Miss Rose Newton, and she's a kayak angler, also an LBA angler, and heck of a fisherwoman, I guess you'd say. So, welcome, Rose, and glad to have you on.
Thanks for having me, you guys. Appreciate it.
All right. We always kind of get into your background. If you want to kind of go over how kind of you got your start in fishing and how you kind of grew into the tournament side and kind of go from there.
Yeah, I guess my story is kind of your typical story for women who get into fishing. Women who are fishing usually are either really young, pre-kids, or post-kids, or retirees. And so I'm kind of in that post-kid area. My son went off to college, and that's kind of when I started really fishing. But prior to that, actually, as a family, we were really outdoorsy. We did a lot of outdoor things. My son was in the Scouts. He's an Eagle Scout. And part of scouting is we volunteered to help with troops. And so I helped with a lot of the merit badges. Fishing was one of them, where I was a merit badge counselor for that. And so, I mean, I knew enough to teach the kids the fishing merit badge thing. And, you know, we did that, and it was a lot of fun, but, you know, we were focused on the kids fishing, not the adults. And as an assistant scoutmaster, you know, that's kind of the things that, you know, you empower the kids to learn a tool, a technique, and to master it. So all this time I was watching these kids fish, and I'm like, you know, I really would like to go fishing. And so sometimes on the campouts, you know, I'd just take off and try to go fishing and do some stuff, and never really had the time. And so when my son finished out Scouts, one of the other moms who was a scouter was like, hey, I'm really into fishing here. I think you're into fishing. Would you like to go kayak fishing? I'm like, wait, what is that? Is that a thing? I mean, I was thinking in fishing, you just fish from like the bank or in a boat. I didn't know people were kayak fishing. Because for me, like, I live in Austin, and a lot of people who kayak are like either stand-up paddleboard, kayak, kind of goofing around, not fishing. And so I'm like, yeah, let me check it out. I'd like to hear about it, because I kind of like the aspect of kayak fishing where you exercise while you fish. So I was down with it, and so she brought me to our local lake, Lake Bastrop, actually, here in Texas, and she kind of taught me a little bit about how to kayak, first off, and with the pedal kayak things, and then how to fish. And so kind of just started from there as just another mom who was a scouter who knew there were other moms who wanted to do stuff. And so that's kind of where it came from there. After that, she invited me to join her. I mean, we were fishing around here, but then when she invited me to the Women's Fishing Federation conference up at Lake Fork, actually, a couple years back, 3 years back to be specific. I remember my Facebook memory just talked about it, but that was the first time I went fishing with a large group of women. I had no idea, zero idea that there was a group of women who were out there fishing. I thought it was just, you know, tag along with guys. And, you know, I didn't know there was a whole group associated. So in my day job, I'm really about working with women and empowering them in leadership in their business. And so when I saw these women being really like empowered to go fishing and doing it all on their own and then teaching each other, I was like, wow, this is kind of the gang I want to hang out with. And so with the Women's Fishing Federation, I spent a lot of time with them. I've been going to their conferences, met a lot of great ladies there who kind of showed me the ropes. And then, so I've been kayak fishing for a little while. Then last year I started co-angling, and I was like really curious about that. I don't have a boat. My husband's a sailboat guy, and he's like, no, we're not gonna get a a bass boat. So I'm like, the only chance I'm gonna get on a bass boat is to be in the back of somebody else's boat. So I tried out our local one when the WBT out here in Texas, and I really liked it. And then I noticed there was a bigger one, the national one, the LBAA. And I went ahead and said, and I told my husband, I said, next year, which is this year, I'm going to hit every single one of these tournaments. And even though I'm not really 100% sure what I'm doing, I'm like, I'm going to just do it and just see what happens. And so that's kind of where I am right now. I've been hitting every single one of their events, doing pretty decent.
Nice.
And I'm feeling pretty good with my skill thus far. Pretty decent. That's kind of my history of it. So yes, definitely post-child empty nest fishing. That's what's going on.
Hats off to you being with the Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout myself, so hats off to you. That's a lot. That is a lot. But yeah, being a co-angler, I know you get to experience different stuff. Every angler's a little different, does stuff different, and it's a really good learning way to learn.
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, I didn't anticipate this. I thought I was just going to hop on the back of people's boats and go fishing. But what I'm learning, even with pre-fishing, when I'm hopping on the back, each one of my boaters have been very generous with their time, sharing their boat with me, but also just kind of sharing their knowledge. Like I'm learning these techniques that I would have never. I could have watched YouTube videos all day and not, what I'm learning from each one of these boaters has just been great. And I was talking about fishing with Cheryl about in the other tournament and how it was like a master class. I mean, honestly, I would have hired somebody to pay me to sit there for 8 hours with me and coach me essentially how to fish. And in fact, my first boater is a college coach, college fishing coach, Angela Mayo. And she's like, yeah, so I was on her boat, and I think she was trying to not coach, but she's got the coach energy, which I appreciate, and it was wonderful. I mean, I was there just absorbing everything, understanding what I was doing wrong, what I was doing right, learning how boats navigate in the water, because I don't really do that. I didn't do that much on my own, and just the whole thing. And it's been great. Each time I go to a tournament, at a minimum, I've got 2 boaters I get to learn something new from. And then if I get there early enough, I can practice with others. So it's been great.
Yeah. And like me, I've been a co-angler for a long time, and the friends you meet, I mean, I know like you're probably still, talking to them and stay in contact with them. And it's a great network.
It absolutely is. And I'm finding that they're just super generous with their time and just, and they ask like if I want to hear opinions or hear things. And I'm like, yeah, just tell me everything in it, anything you want. And so it's just been good. I'm kind of just absorbing it all. Like I said, I told my husband I'm just going to do this entire year, see how it goes, and it's going all right. I mean, I feel like with each one I'm getting better, and I think it's going to improve my kayak angling too. And that was a whole other thing, that it's a different perspective and it's a different animal that I think I'm getting a lot better at both. So that's kind of
definitely. I mean, look at Christine Fisher. How she's transitioned kind of opposite from kayak to the boat, and she's done real well.
Yeah, actually, I got a funny story about Christine on that. Like, so that WFF thing in Lake Fork, the Women's Fishing Federation, I show up to that not knowing anybody. I don't know the industry. I don't know anyone. And this lady and this guy were like, hey, you want to go out and we're going to go fishing? I'm like, sure. And so I didn't know who I was fishing with. And it just was this nice people who were going to show me around Lake Fork. And it turns out to be Christine and Guillermo. And so it's just like, wow, okay. And then I'm like, she was super generous and super kind. And what a great role model. I mean, honestly, I had no idea who she was. I just knew that she was a nice young lady who was going to take me out fishing at Lake Fork, and I had a great time. So later I found out who she was. Like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great learning experience. Like Rob said, yeah, I've been a co-angler with the Opens and several other organizations, and it's a great way to learn. You know,
Absolutely.
the experience is invaluable. You know, you couldn't pay for that kind of experience.
Mm.
For sure.
You
And
know,
it's getting me on lakes that I would never have gone because
Yep.
I'm in Texas, and so I've kind of been doing the Texas lakes, but I just got back from Bull Shoals. I have never fished clear water before, and I got to do that there. And I can tell you, I don't really like it too much when you can see the see it, but I mean, it's like a whole new other thing, like fishing new bodies of water. So and that's just great that I can just co-angle with another person.
Definitely. We got a few comments I'm gonna run through here real quick, just 3 or 4. They're all good. Haley Huchowski says, "Woo-hoo, Rose! Met her at bull shows, and she is amazing." There you go. Got you. First comment is a compliment. So there you go.
Thanks, Haley.
And then Haley Huchowski also says, "Not until you get a Ranger." Uh-oh. She thinks she's
Oh yeah,
dropping a hint.
yeah. We went to the ranger.
I agree with her. I agree with her.
Haley and I went to
The
the
only
Rangers
bass boat out.
when we
Yep.
were out
The only
there.
bass boats are Ranger. Ranger's the only place that makes bass boats.
Yep. Absolutely. And then Amy Brown Fishing says, "Yo, Rose."
That's my
And
girl.
then,
That's my kayak
yep.
gal.
And then our good friend of the show, Miss Ashley Klaus, say, "Hey guys, hey Ashley, hope everything's going well." And then
Hello?
Amanda Brandon says, "Rose is awesome." So there you
Thank you,
go.
Amanda. Amanda's with Women's Fishing Federation.
Oh, okay, I got you. But that's good. But yeah, talking about your coach there, she I see her in BFLs a lot, and she always finishes ahead of me. She's good.
Angela?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Angela's good. Yeah, Angela's good.
she's really good, and she's doing an amazing thing with her program out there in her
Yeah.
university. And so it's she's really great. She's a really great partner.
Yeah, I can see her. I mean, that just matches her. I mean, that's perfect for her. So that
Yeah.
is great. And then Ashley disagrees with you, Al. She says, "I'm gonna have to argue on that one. Skeeter boats all day." Skeeter's pretty good too.
Skeeter's a good boat. It is a
Yeah,
good
Skeeter's
boat.
good.
Bass
Yep.
Cats are good. There's
Yep.
a lot of good boats, but I
It
think
is.
Ranger, for someone like me that's been in this sport since back 80s, 90s, Ranger was the boat.
Yep.
That's what we grew up on, you know.
Still a lot of them out there too. And then Haley
Yeah.
says, "I don't know, Alvin. We run a Ranger and a Bass Cat too. We love them both." Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good combination.
But look at all the Rangers from the 80s and 90s that are still on the water.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
378s, 373 Vs or whatever.
Yeah,
Still out there.
361s. Yeah,
Yeah,
361s.
they're still out there.
Well,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like I said, Haley and I stopped by the manufacturer, and I brought home a bunch of brochures, and I kind of left them out for my husband to see, just in case he's interested in buying a Ranger.
You're browsing. You're just browsing.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Yeah.
Heard that. But talking about kayaks, what kind of kayak you got now? You're fishing out of?
Oh, wow.
I got a feel free moken. I love it.
Well, I've got 4 kayaks right now, which is a problem. I mean, I got a lot. I've got a few. So, my main one is with my Newport NK180 motor on it. I've got a Hobie PA14.
Nice.
So that's kind of my big one. But the ones I have 2 of the Hobie iTrex, which are the floatable inflatables. And in fact, I've fished and brought one on a plane with my poles and everything. Didn't have to pay extra baggage. I folded the whole thing up in the little case. It's the size of check-in bag or under the plane baggage. Didn't even charge me extra, and got to an event. And then it was actually a Women's Fishing Federation event, and was able to bring my own kayak on a plane and good to go. Yeah, it worked.
Nice. They can't beat that. That's amazing. And
Yeah.
and nothing got damaged or lost. That's even more amazing.
No. And
Really.
I use those inflatables on a Ladybird because there's no power boats or anything, so it's pretty chill water. And so it's nice kayak to just for ease of just throwing it in the back of my truck and then dropping in the water.
Yeah, there's a lot of no wake lakes around here, so it's perfect for kayaks around here.
I mean, I will say one thing about a kayak, like the PA-14 that I've got, it's heavy. It's a beast. So
Yep.
it's rough for me to load and unload on my own with the truck. So I'm picking up a trailer this week that I special ordered. So now I'll be backing it into the water and stuff, so I don't have to jack with the back of my truck and wrestle with it. Because I mean, so the last tournament I was in, a kayak tournament, I think it was in Florida with the Kissimmee Bassmaster, the Bass Nation national one.
Yep.
It took me. I was an hour behind lines in because I was wrestling with my kayak trying to get into the water because it was so heavy. I had to take off my gear, put it on, put it off, and so that's a whole thing. So now I'm getting a trailer, and that's going to make it a lot easier. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was amazing. I went by Del Hollow. I was going to a BFL in Tennessee, and I passed by Del Hollow, that last event.
Yeah.
They had 235 kayaks, I think. That blew my mind. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I think the Kissimmee one I did, I think it was 150, 160, something like that.
Wow.
Pretty big, yeah.
That's amazing. But yeah, that's it's a lot of fun. I said I've just had my kayak since last summer, and yeah, when you get to the end of the day and you're tired, like I just got a paddle kayak. I'm bushed, I'm old, and I'm beat, and I'm trying to wrestle that in the truck. I feel you.
Yeah, well, I am a non-electronics person until recently. Like I put a motor on my PA-14 just mostly to get to the point, and then at the end of the day, get back because I know I'm gassed by the end of the day. And as for electronics, I just got a depth finder, just more so to see how deep I am, and that's it. That's all I've got. Before I was just sight fishing, like what I could see on the shore and what I was thinking I was doing, and that's kind of how I was fishing before.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not a big electronics guy. I don't know what it is about electronics. I, like you, I prefer to look and go.
Yep.
You know?
I mean, I think that's part of the what I enjoy about it. It's the problem. It's like the biggest puzzle. It's like a puzzle game, like trying to figure it out. And if you look at the shore, you look at the terrain on the shore, you imagine what's underneath, and like, okay, where would I hide if I was a fish? That kind of all these things are going in my head of like I'm really looking at the land, and all of the different aspects of it. And a lot of people don't realize that fishing is more than just like throwing a line in. There's this calculation. There's just really observing what's going on, and I enjoy that. It's just like a big. Was one of my friends. I did a post about me playing golf the other day, and she said it was very much like fishing. Like when you're playing golf, you got to figure out which iron or which club to hit, the distance, the wind. It's actually, I didn't think about it, but it's really similar. It's like you got to calculate everything. Like it's not a given. You're going to use the right thing or the right lure or whatever, and you just got to figure it out based off the environment.
Yeah, and in golf you got to figure out the terrain, how the hills and all the angles. So yeah, this is a lot
really
similar.
Yeah, you really got to analyze your environment, and it's much different than video games. Although I'm a big video game fan, I think really having all your senses to kind of understand what's going on around you. I don't listen to music. I don't do any of that when I'm fishing, just so I can hear and see everything. And so I enjoy it. It's really good downtime for me to go be on the water.
Absolutely. And got a few more comments I'm going to run through here real quick. Good friend of the show, Miss Jen Nolan says howdy. Hey Jen.
She was my brother last tournament. Hey Jen.
Oh, awesome. I bet that was a lot of fun. That was a fun day. I guarantee you.
We had a good time.
Awesome. And then Ashley says, good point, Ashley, because they were built different then, talking about the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rangers they got a lot more fiberglass and stuff. So yeah, I've seen that. And then Jen Nolan says, kayak fish so much better than boat. LOL. Yeah, I can see that.
Well, I actually got a funny story about that. So I was at, where was I? Caddo. I did a kayak tournament the Saturday at Caddo, and then like the following that I stayed for the rest of the week to do a boat tournament.
Yeah.
So I caught a lot of stuff at a certain spot on my kayak, and then when the boat tournament came around, I was like, told my boater, hey, I think there's a spot you might want to go over there. So we go to the same spot that I was successful on as a kayak. And my vantage point is completely different. So in a kayak, my butt's in the water basically, and you just see eye level. You just see that. And then we go to the same spot, and I'm standing and I'm like, wait, I didn't see that house. I didn't see that thing. I mean, there was this completely different view, and actually then when I looked at it from a higher perspective, I could kind of see kind of how deep the reeds are going and all of the different things. It's different fishing. I like kayak fishing because I feel like I'm in the water with the fish.
Yep.
And gators is a whole other thing. You can ask my friend Amy on that. But when you're in the water with kayak fishing, I really enjoy that because I feel like I'm really close to like the ground and understanding where everything is.
Yeah, definitely. And I noticed you catch fish a lot closer. Like I've
Oh, yeah.
caught a 4-pounder within like 2 or 3 foot of my kayak before. It's like, wow.
Yeah, and that's another thing I'm noticing is like in kayak, I mean, I'm maybe like right up in the reeds and stuff, like 2-3 feet of water, and then in the boat, I'm like, oh, I don't know how to fish deeper water. I don't know how to do that, and so that's the thing I've got to learn how to do is more deeper than deeper than 8 feet is
Yep.
probably what I need to kind of work on the most. But yeah, it's different, but similar. I mean, the same. Texas rig is my thing, and I haven't really expanded beyond that.
Texas Ray's caught a lot of fish over the years. I mean, a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Plus, with a kayak versus a boat, and we've spoke about this before, and like you were saying, sitting down or standing up, the perspective of the water is you're skimming it or you're looking down at it.
Yeah.
You can look at the same spot and see two different things.
Yep.
So you got to learn to be like you, a kayak angler and a boating angler. You have to have two different mindsets when you go out on that water, because standing up, you're seeing different. When you're sitting down, you're seeing different. So you got to be able to judge the water. You can't sit there in a kayak and flip,
right?
Like you can in a boat.
Yeah.
So you really have to have two fishing styles.
Well, so I've been having hook set problems on the boat, and I've been talking to some of my boaters, and it may be having to do with me being a kayak fishing, because when I'm sitting, I jerk it to the side because there is no upward moment. It's really hard to go up when you're sitting, so you got to go to the side. And so I've noticed that I'm on a boat, I'm losing my hook set because I'm going to the side, and everybody's like, Rose, you got to go straight up. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have the leverage now to go up instead of to the side. And so I did notice that is kind of a thing that I need to work on, is how I'm hook setting, because it is a different way. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
How to cast.
Oh yeah.
How to retrieve.
Mm-hmm.
You're not flipping that thing into a kayak, because the next place, because you're flipping it, but you're flipping it right into your head.
Yeah.
Whereas in a boat, you're standing, so you're gonna hit the feet.
Right.
In a kayak, you try to flip it, it's got nowhere to go.
No, I mean that's even with like casting. I mean, I tend to do more sidearm things because of kayaking, and it's more of a sidearm stuff. But I've noticed I have to kind of modify it when I'm standing. And it wasn't until I got this PA-14 that I felt comfortable standing in a kayak. And honestly, when I was on Kissimmee, doing a Kissimmee kayak tournament, I had to stand up because I didn't want to get hit by the airboats, which was another thing I didn't know I had to deal with. The airboats going around with the gator things. I was like, number one, there's gators, and number two, there's these boats zipping around and cutting across the reeds and stuff. I'm like, oh, I had no idea that was something I needed to think about. And so I stood up most of that tournament because I didn't want to get hit. But
Wow.
That's not something I get in Texas. So Florida, yeah.
But one thing I learned on kayak, I picked up, I think from Jody Queen. I fish a lot of braid on my kayak, like even like chatterbaits, moving baits. I do a lot more braid because you got no stretch, so you got a shorter hook set, so it helped me a lot.
Yeah, and that's I guess my evolution of I did braid for a while, braid with leader, and then I've kind of recently switched straight fluoro. Yep. And maybe it's because I'm on the boat. I don't know. I haven't really figured that out yet, but I'm kind of back and forth. But
I'm the same way. I'm all over the place. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's amazing line technology. 100 years ago, when me and Alvin was probably first starting out, I was it was all mono, and you could stretch mono.
Oh yeah.
If you had 100 yards, you could stretch to about 130 yards, Alvin, back in the day. So.
Oh yeah. You couldn't do what you can do today. I mean, today I can flip a frog 150 feet and set the hook. Back then, if you were over 30 feet, you weren't setting the hook.
Yeah.
Nope.
Stretch, yeah.
It was coming back at you. That was about it. So.
Oh yeah.
But definitely. But now you gonna fish, Rose? You gonna fish the rest of the LBA season this year? You think?
Yeah, depending. As long as I don't have any work meeting or work trips. But yeah, I think I am. I'm signed up. I think I qualified for their championship, and I think I'm in the running for Rookie of the Year co-angler.
Nice.
So
nice. Good
I don't
job.
want to mess it up, so I might want to go to their last one to make the last, just to finish it out, complete it out. Yeah.
Good deal. Yeah, I'm hoping I'm like you. Depending on work trips and work I got, I'm gonna try to make Kentucky Lake. So I hope to get to meet you and see you there.
Oh, awesome! That'd be great.
Yeah, it's a beautiful lake, and
Johnny asked me the other day about it, and it's already on the calendar that week. And then, I told my wife, I said, "Oh, wait a second, it's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, not a Friday, Saturday, Sunday."
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a little tricky for work. I've been taking a lot of time off work to do those. I'm like, my husband's like, "You saving vacation for our vacation?" I'm like, "Well, I'm fishing too." So.
Well, I told my wife, all I got to do is go from where I live. I live just north of Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
Like, I just drive to Nashville and turn right.
Yep.
That's basically
pretty
it.
much.
Yeah, I have been flying as a co-angler to most of the last couple of them, and I've kind of got it down pat on how to fly with all my gear and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a fear of flying, so I don't even like being within a quarter of a mile of an airplane.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that's funny you say that.
I'm not supposed to go there.
Yep. I got a good friend. He works in the medical field, and so he has to change locations quite a bit. He's in Arizona. And he's flying back this week to fish BFL with me on Saturday. So you got any good tips for flying with fishing gear? I know he'll need some.
Yeah, I made a little video on how I packed up. I upgraded to a Pelican case, and it fits all in there. And then I put my rods. I use Kistler's travel rods.
Yep.
Able to stuff them into an art tube. Looks like I got posters, whatever. It's no big deal. They don't care about me putting it up on board, and so it's like easy peasy actually. And I feel like actually I prefer having to trim down my stuff, because then if I bring too much, I get overwhelmed by variables and variations. So I like the fact that I can only let me bring 4 rods, and that's it.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's like me. I think my best finish, I had 3 rods, and I finished 5th one time. So I agree with you on that.
There's no reason to have a ton of rods. Actually, boaters can do it because they can lay 4 or 5 rods out on each side of the boat. You can't.
Yeah.
Well, that makes you commit to whatever you're doing. And then I do kind of second guess myself. I'll be like throwing some for a while, and I've only got the 3 or 4 rods. I'm like, should I commit and retie something new? And then it's like, it's time off throwing. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go with this for another hour and see how it goes. And then sometimes I switch it up, but I always have my Texas rig ready to go. And on that, and depending on the water, I'll have some kind of moving bait, depending on what we're doing. But Texas rig is always ready.
Oh, absolutely. Can't go wrong there. Now, talking about Kistler, I'm part of Kistler team. What's your favorite Kistler series? I just got some of the Argons, and I'm looking forward to getting some of the Abrams they got back in stock.
Oh, yeah. I saw the Abrams. Actually, I met Trey at the Classic. First time I ever been to the Classic. But I met him, and I saw the Abrams in person. They look really cool.
Yeah.
But I've been using his travel rods, and they've been doing the. I've got, I think got 5 or 6 of them, so different weights and different. So then, depending on where I'm heading, I kind of put the combos together, and then just pack it up into a box, and I'm good. But yeah, I've been using pretty much those, and some of his I think he pronounced Curios. The early.
Yeah. I got some
those,
of those. Yeah, the white rod. Yeah.
yeah. Those are kind of fun. I've caught several actually. Last year on Lake Fork on some of those, and I
Yeah.
took some photos on that. But yeah, I'm a Houston gal, and he's out of the Houston area, so I thought I'd support a local fishing company, and so that's kind of why I've been choosing to use his stuff. So.
Yeah, good stuff. And I like the argon. I didn't realize it, but it's like it's. I told him. I said, man, it fits a kayak perfect because the hook holder's like above the reel and just the way to handle. But yeah, check out the argon series. I
I talked to
really
him
like
about
them.
the hook holder where it was getting caught on some of it when I was
Yep.
casting it. Yeah, we talked about that. But yeah, I'll look at those. I'll look at the argons. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got two of them. And I've been really happy. But yeah, and I tell like young anglers, like high school, I'll talk to them. They're asking what to get. I said, start off with a 7-foot medium spinning rod.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get kind of comfortable with that, then you can go casting and get like a 7-foot medium heavy.
Yep.
And I mean, them two rods are going to cover 89% of your fishing.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And if you want to travel, try their travel rods. They're really good.
Absolutely, I'll definitely check that out. Go ahead, Alvin.
I'm a 6-gill guy.
Yep, that 6-gills are good.
I love my 6-gill, and I can't remember the other one. I haven't fished in a while between work and a few other incidences. It's been hard, but yeah, don't touch my 6-gill spinning reel and rod.
Yep. I got a dreadnought. I got a dreadnought spinning reel from them, and I've really been happy with it.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. It's lasted me. I've had it about 5 years now, and it still works as good as the day I bought it.
Nice.
But that and lures. I
Yeah.
love my lures rod and reel combos. That's my frog rod.
Mm-hmm.
My big 7.7 with the heavy duty reel with the 50-pound braid. I'm not giving that frog up. I'm not giving up on that bite no more.
I wanted to tell y'all, I have never been successful with a frog, and I'm really bummed out about it because it looks so cool. I got to work on it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I really can't wait till I get something on a frog. I have yet to do that.
You got
it. I tell people constantly, just get out there and spend an entire day doing nothing but frog.
That's what somebody told me.
Yeah, just spending an entire day on the frog. I know I had a guy just a few weeks ago. I was like, just spend everything you have on it. He never fished a buzzbait.
Mm-hmm.
Not a buzzbait, a spinnerbait, and had success.
Yeah.
You got to go try it. You got to put different trails on it. Mm-hmm. Try different ways. With a frog, throw it, pop it, reel it, pop it, reel it, or just slowly, if you got the paddle feet, just slowly reel it, pull and reel so the feet pop a little, and then give it a little twitch.
Oh yeah.
Well, so this is kind of maybe my being a novice. In my mind, I thought a frog using a frog was a morning and dusk thing. And then I was fishing with somebody and they were using it all day and was successful. I'm like, oh, you can use that thing all day? Oh, yeah. I didn't know. I thought it was like a morning thing, frogs and, I didn't realize that. And so I do. I think I just need to spend one day just on it with the frog and just get it done.
And the cover has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
If you're in heavy brush, if you're here, you're there. Yeah. It all works out. But you got to it's like anything else with anything you do. Practice.
Yep. Yeah.
Absolutely. But Allie, Eve, she says Linda Gassner. Now Linda Gassner is one of the best frog fishermen I ever been around. So she's good.
So I got a story. Linda, we roomed together, the gang of us, and boy, she was on me. She's like, Rose, she was the one telling me your hook set's wrong because I pre-fished with her. She's like, you got to do this. So she did the whole stance. So I'm like, okay, Linda. And then she gave me one of her frogs. She's like, use this. And I'm like, oh. So, Linda coached me through it. I still have yet to be successful, but I'm working on it. And so Coach Linda I'll do it. So
yeah, she's one of the best. So you got some good advice there. Yeah. she's got her system down. It's perfect.
Oh, she
Hook
does.
that line.
She told me. She showed me the special frog she uses, and she gave me one. I'm like, okay. I kept it in the box. I'm scared to open it up and use it. Honestly, I don't want to lose it. So
no, it's all right. They make them every day. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, got a few more comments to run through here real quick. Jen Nolan says, was blessed to have her as a co-angler. There you go. And then she says, woohoo, come on, girl. And then Amanda Brandon says, way to go, Rose. There you go. And then Jen Nolan lives kind of out that way. She said, I can pick you up, girl. So she's ready. She's ready. And then, there's talking about Linda. Yeah, Linda, we've had her on the show, and she broke down her frog setup.
She's
every
serious.
bit.
She helped me take out something that was stuck, right? And then I handed her my reel and rod, and then she looked at me. She said, "You're trying to catch with this?" Like she's like, your rod is not strong enough. You need to do this and do this. I'm like, okay. So this is what I'm talking about. Every boater has been kind of like schooling me. I'm like, I come on this boat thinking I know what I'm doing. I'm like, nope. I'm like, okay. So from now on, I'm doing the Linda method and not doing anything. No light, medium light or whatever. Medium plus and only. And so, yeah, she kind of got on me. Like, I can't believe you're fishing with this.
Yeah, but it is good though. I mean, every boater you see kind of what their niche is. Every boater has their favorite technique, and you kind of learn from them and see, exactly what they're using, exactly how they throw it. So, I mean, that's huge. That's a huge advantage.
Well, and that's the thing. I kind of look, but I don't try to copy them because it's a different situation when I'm at the back. But if you pay attention, I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing, and I'm sticking over here with my Texas thing because the environment is different in the back. Well, that's a whole other thing about being a co that I wasn't prepared for is that you kind of get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You kind of have to plan ahead and like, are we going over there? I hope so. And kind of plan it out and versus me kayaking myself around wherever I want to go. And so I do like the fact that it makes me really think about each cast and plan ahead because I know what's coming down the direction we're going. So.
Oh yeah, being back at the boat, it's more of a mental game. Like I said, you got to keep your head in it, and like I said, I try to focus where my boater's throwing and say, hey, he didn't throw here, hit those spots he didn't hit. So
and like I was saying earlier about learning, being with different boaters, you do learn different ways, different ways to throw certain baits, different ways to use a bait.
Yeah.
But you get that it's like having multiple teachers versus having one teacher. So it being a co-angler, I think every good angler should be a co-angler for a few years.
Oh yeah.
Get out there and learn and appreciate.
Yep.
Because you're going to learn a lot from boaters.
Yeah, I've been talking to some of my kayak friends. I'm like, you should try this out because you should really try co-angling if you don't want to commit to buying a boat because it really does give you opportunities to learn new things each time I go out. Each time, I swear, I'm like, I should write it all down, but I mean, I'm learning new things from new boaters every time I go out, and it's just. And what I do appreciate with the ladies I fish with, everybody's forthcoming. Nobody's really gets upset. Nobody hides things. Everybody's super helpful. And if you say you're having an issue or trouble with this, there's people who are there to kind of help you out. And so I really appreciate that with the ladies that we fish with. So.
Oh, absolutely. Y'all work as a team. It's amazing. Y'all. I went to the Gunnersville event last year, me and my son, and watched weigh-in. It amazed me because every one of the ladies stayed there till the end of the weigh-in, watched everybody weigh in, cheered everybody on. So it was amazing.
Yeah, it's a good group of ladies.
Oh, absolutely. And then talking about co-anglers, I got a friend of mine. Look him up on YouTube and Facebook. Gary Haraguchi. He's been a co-angler for 20 years, and he's won hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's won boats. I mean, he is really good. But and one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. But he's really good. So look him up. He's one of the best co-anglers I know.
Awesome. Yeah, I will. I'll look them up.
Yep. But I know your favorite technique is Texas rig. Now, what is maybe one of your other confidence? If Texas rig ain't working, what you going to?
Well, it depends on what's happening. I mean, I feel pretty comfortable with chatterbait.
Yep.
I feel pretty comfortable with that, and a spinning reel. So I mean, I think those three.
Yep.
And wacky.
Oh yeah.
Stuff. So, but I'm not really. I try not to, number one, do anything with a treble hook because it scares the hell out of me. I am really nervous with treble hook things.
Yep.
But so I try to avoid treble hook things. And I know that's probably bad, but I don't do anything with treble hook. And then, no, I just kind of stick with what I know. I feel like when I add too much, I get more overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So, when we were at Bull Shoals, I tried shaky head for the first time.
Yep.
I had never done that before. That was interesting. But I didn't. I think trying something for the first time is not something you should do during a tournament. So I quickly switched and went back to Texas rig after that, or wacky actually after that, and then. But yeah, I try to learn something new each time.
Yeah. Yeah, I've taken that hard. I heard a lot of guys, hey, if you got a new technique, take out one rod and one technique, go practice. Go out to your local lake and practice. And I did that with glide baits over the weekend and about threw my arm out, but I had fun. But yeah, then too, on your Texas rig, you know exactly what it feels like. You know when something ain't right, something feels, and hook sets are free. So yeah, that's a big part of it. Is knowing the feel of it.
I learned that hook sets are free. That everybody keeps telling me that. I think I'm too passive, I guess, with them, and I just need to be more aggressive. And that's kind of what I've been learning. I think just like really yanking them versus. I guess it's different from when I'm in a kayak. It's just a different feel of a hook set for me. But
yeah, it is. And like sometimes you'll feel a tap, feel your line jump. And then sometimes they'll just kind of grab it and sit there, and you'll just kind of feel pressure, or like you got a leaf or something. So fish have different moods too. So it's putting the puzzle together for sure. But what's I always ask this because I had some crazy stuff. Have you ever had anything like kind of crazy happen on a boat when you was a co-angler?
Not really thus far. Well, I will say, let's see. Robbie Hartline and I were doing a practice run on where were we? Caddo, and a storm was coming in.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the first times I really kind of gripped whatever I could hold on to. Well, it's funny as a co-angler or even in a boat. It's like you feel the urge to put a belt on, like a seat belt.
Yep.
There is nothing. You just grab and. Robbie told me, Rose, just hold on. and so we went through and we got through it, but it was just really interesting. I don't know if you know Robbie, but she's really seasoned.
Yeah. She's been around a long time. She's good.
And so I trusted her. I'm like, I know she knows how to get out of this. And so it was just great to watch how she navigated based off the storm and the waves and stuff. But I think that was maybe one of my more interesting ones of just pre-fishing with her and storm coming in.
Oh yeah, and then we got somebody like that. They got confidence. You can tell how they're driving that they got confidence. They know what they're doing, so it makes you feel confident. So that's a lot of it.
I have been blessed to be partnered up with a lot of seasoned boaters.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm like you. When I launch out in the morning, I'm seeing where all the grab handles are, what I can grab onto, because it can get kind of rough early, but you got to kind of scope it out. And when it's cold and early season, I got a full face motorcycle helmet. I watch that because I had a friend had a bird hit him in the face, and I've had sleet and hail hit me in the face. So I carry my motorcycle helmet.
Yeah, it's definitely you kind of like have to duck and cover,
Yeah, that craziest thing I had a young kid on Cumberland, one of my home lakes here in Kentucky, and he forgot to put the plug in. So I launch him out. And we're sitting there. I'm like, man, your bilge is going crazy. He's like, oh, man, I forgot to plug. So I said, well, just, there's a bunch of trailers, backing in. Just run on somebody's trailer. They won't mind. And he's like, no, I got this. He said, hold my ankles. I'm like, what? He strips down his underwear, and I'm holding him upside down. He's scuba diving and putting the plug in. I'm like,
oh my goodness.
Luckily, he wasn't like 130 pounds soaking wet, but he got it in there, and it was like 40 degrees. I was like, you got to be cold, man.
Well, I haven't had any of those. No, mine has all been weather related. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you'll get every kind of, and don't ever trust the weatherman. Always take your rain suit. I learned that early.
Well, actually, and maybe it's out of my kayak habit, because in kayak fishing, I always wear a life jacket because you're on the kayak. And
yeah, I do.
I tend to still wear it on as a coat. I know it kind of look dorky, but I mean, I feel it's just like I'm used to it on my kayak fish, so I kind of just keep it on. And I've got all my stuff on it for safety. I keep all my kayak, like I have my kayak, my radio and all that stuff on me just in case, but I kind of keep it all on and just transitioning from kayak to boat. So.
Yeah, I do the same thing, and it's a time saver. You know how your boater wants to hurry up and go. You already got your life. You sit down, put your rods up, you're ready to go. So it's time, and plus you don't ever know when you're going to hit a log or hit a stump. I mean, you could get tossed out. So that's a good habit.
It's my scouter safety moment. No, I'm just kidding.
Be prepared. Be prepared.
I did a 50-mile down the Buffalo River with a bunch of scouts. So I did my training for that.
No, I heard that, but hey, you always got to be prepared for the unexpected. So, but that's good habit. Yeah, I do the same thing. So you're good. But what else you got, Alvin?
Kayaking. You said you're at Kissimmee.
Yeah.
What? I'm not a kayak angler. I'm a boater. I like the boat. I like the safety of it. I don't know why.
Nope.
Maybe being 65 years old, that kayak kind of, scares me a little. But I know what it's like to be in a bass boat and watch an alligator go under. What's it like in a kayak?
Okay,
knowing that they're there.
All right. One of the big reasons why I put a motor on my kayak is because I knew I was going to compete in Florida. And I told my husband, I'm like, listen, my little legs and my arms cannot go fast to get out of the way of anything. At least maybe a little motor will give me some way to get out of somewhere, some situation, right? I didn't do so well in that tournament because the first day I didn't even get near the reeds, near the grass. I was so freaked out about the idea of an alligator back there. So some of my friends who were fishing with me, they're from Florida, and they're like, "Oh, Rose, just go up in there." I'm like, "Wait, first off, the airboats are in there. That means they're spotting gators because they're showing it to tourists, and you want me to go up in there?" Where they're hanging out. I'm like, I mean, I've seen them, but just from a distance. I have not had one like really close to me, and I would really like it to keep it that way. They tell me, all my friends tell me they leave you alone. I think the thing with kayaks though is you can sneak up on them, and I don't want to accidentally like piss one off, and so that's kind of my. And where I fish, there are no gators, so I never really have to think about that. So. I don't know. I hope I don't really have to cross one super close.
Now, I was born and raised in South Louisiana, South Mississippi, and I used to have a little canoe called a pirogue, a little bitty load of water. And I snuck up on one, like you said, on the creek, and I thought it was a big log, and I started pushing on it to push off, and it moved. I was like, so he went that way, I went this way. But they're only time they're not skittish if they got a nest close, but rest time they won't bother you. They're pretty skittish.
Okay, well, remind me of that next time I see one and I panic.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm with Rose. I'm with Rose. I prefer not to find out if that is true.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna pet one on the head or nothing, but they're pretty skittish.
Well, I will say I was standing up in the Florida one for the airboats, and also so I could kind of look for gators. Kind of 2 for 1. So I was totally like preoccupied about gators day 1. I didn't catch anything until day 2 because I was like over it, like, oh, screw it. And I just started using my chatterbait, and I was catching stuff. So it was the first day I was completely like freaked out over it. So
yeah, that chatterbait's a good tool. I know a couple guys, they fish that year round. That's the only thing they fish, and they do pretty well.
I do like the lures that have that sensitivity, like you can feel like something's happening versus.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do enjoy that.
Yeah, I do like on a big swim bait. You got that swim bait kind of.
I haven't
And
tried
when you
that.
the mag draft is one of my favorites, and you can feel it kind of doing that. And when it quits doing that, I mean, or a fish has swiped at it or has got it. So, but it's little nuances like that.
I like my top water.
Yeah, that is hard to beat.
Yeah. Frogs, buzz baits. I like all that.
I've been trying buzz baits recently. Not just the same as result as my frog. Nothing.
Have you put a frog as a trailer on one?
There you go.
Whoa, I didn't.
Yeah.
Nah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. They actually just put plastics on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They treat a buzz bait, they skirtless, throw a frog on it, get it on there just right, between the blade going in the front and the feet going in the back.
Yeah. And you skip that thing too with a frog or something, man. You skip that thing like a rock, just skips it.
Get right in there.
It does.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Okay.
That's a lot of fun. Got a couple more comments to run through real quick. Miss Tanya says, love a shaky head. Yeah, that's one of my favorites for sure. And then Tanya says, I grew up in South Louisiana, and they never messed with us kids. We swam in the bayou all the time, and they swam away from us. Yeah. Oh, that seems like my experience. They're pretty skittish. And then Tanya says, a yellow magic, little pop-R top water. Shh. Keep that quiet now. Don't say that to everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I said top water is a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of times they'll miss it, but a lot of times if you ever have your buzz bait and get one to blow up on it and he misses it, follow it with like a Cinco or some wacky rig like that, and 9 times out of 10 you'll catch them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good to have a follow up, but yeah,
buzz bait is good if the fish aren't biting that well, or they're there but they're not active. A buzz bait will get them out and get them looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw a buzz bait once or twice, then follow it up with something like a Cinco, like Rob was saying.
Yeah.
It'll get their attention. Sometimes you got to just wake them up.
Oh yeah.
And that's a great way to wake them up.
Oh yeah, or it's like your bird dog. Not sure where they're at, and they'll strike it. Oh, he's over there. On that log over there or something. So it's kind of like your bird dog, it kind of, hey, there he is, and then throw your wacky rig or Cinco at him. So definitely. But yeah, we're about 10 minutes from the end. We always give you time to go over your sponsors and people's helped you out. So we're going to give you the floor a few minutes there, Rose, and talk about your sponsors and folks that helped you out.
Yeah, first and foremost, my sponsors, my husband, my family. Like my husband's been holding it down while I've been running around doing the fishing. So I really appreciate his support on that, and my son too, who is now accepting the fact that his mom is fishing. So, and I wanted to thank LBAA for providing such a great tournament and organization for women in fishing. It's been an absolute pleasure to be fishing with them. Travis for running it and everything. Women's Fishing Federation. Again, if any of the lady anglers out there who want to kind of learn more about fishing, and just some of their conferences and stuff have been great. They do great monthly tournaments. As for I do fish for Team Kistler, so I've been using their rods like we mentioned before, and that's pretty much it. I'm just kind of new at this, and I'm just kind of using stuff and doing things and having fun and work-life balance.
That's the name of the game. You're having fun and you're doing what you love. So hey, you're off to a great start for sure.
Thanks, yeah.
But
and you get a trailer. That'll help out a lot. The trailer.
Oh yeah.
It will.
Yeah, I ordered that from Fish, Texas. So I should be getting that this week. I'm excited. I was hoping it was in time for Mother's Day, but only a few days off.
And I'm glad you're talking about that motor. I've been looking hard at that 180, that Newport 180, really hard.
It's good. I get about 4 or 5, whatever, speed to it. I don't even know the speed of it, but yeah, it's faster than my feet will go or my arms. So it's been a pretty good cruising little thing, and gets me to point A to point B. And if I do it right, I actually kind of run it when I'm fighting a current and kind of stay in a spot, because I don't have any of those fancy what do you call it, things that just stick in the ground. But yeah,
power pole,
power poles.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yep.
it's really good actually with me kind of running with against the current and kind of staying put. Okay.
Yeah, because I paddled the other day and I was going against the wind the whole time, and I was like, well, I'll drift back. Once I get all the way back to this cove, go all the way back to the cove, wind stopped. I'm like, of course.
Yeah.
But that happens. But yeah, I like because you can outfit your kayak. One thing I like that you can outfit it like you want. You can trick it out, add what you want. So, but there's some neat stuff out there for kayaks right now.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope though. I mean, it started off with a little kayak, and then now I've got 4. Now I've got a trailer.
Yep.
My husband's been very supportive.
That's good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. But yeah, it's amazing, and then the stuff they keep coming out with. I mean, it's. I've seen some. It's got 2 graphs and all kind of stuff on it. So it's
yeah,
amazing.
I'm not about doing that, because I don't want to flip that thing over with all that electronics. That seems like a lot. So I've got my little depth finder, and I'm good to go for that. Just need to know there's just some things in the water and how deep I am. And that's all I really need to know.
Yeah, that's me. I got a little bitty Garmin.
That's what I got.
Yep. Low SV. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Garmin makes a great fish finder.
Oh, they
little
do.
SV5 or 7.
Yep.
They're great.
Yeah, I think that's the one I have, just a little Garmin. But like I said, I mostly use it just for depth, just to understand where I am when I'm kayaking.
Yeah, that's amazing. And see where the creek channels or ditch, if you got a ditch or something in there. So
I still have not successfully understood how to read it for fish. I know it's like the little crescent things, but that's okay. I actually, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. I'm having fun in it. I'm learning every time I go out. So it's been a good empty nest change of pace for me. So.
There you go. Get out, relax, and free your mind. And that's me. Just get out on the water, see nature, and just peace and quiet. That's me.
I love it.
In competition once in a while is pretty good too.
Well, I think it helps. I mean, anytime you're reaching for a goal, it helps you improve your skills. So that's kind of why I got involved in the competition. Not so much to like win, but just to have mile markers to do something. And so that's part of the reason why I've been doing these competitions, is just to make myself accountable, to practice, and to do something with a date. And so that's kind of why I've been doing it. And then, like I said, it's just been kind of a joy, because I've been learning so much as I do it. So it's much better than me just kind of fiddling around and doing it on my own.
Yeah, and then like you said, then go to lakes you never would go to.
Yeah.
You're on these tournaments that you never would have went to that lake if it wasn't a tournament there.
Yep.
So we can't beat that. But
no.
But that's great. But well, I hope we can both see you at Kentucky Lake, and hope you do well rest of the season, and good luck.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the talk.
Yeah, definitely. And I hope, like I said, when you have a big win, we'll have you on again, and we'll talk about you have a win out there. Hey, anything's possible.
Yeah, you never know. If not, I told my husband to go to the local Kinko's and print me out a big check, just for fun.
Hey, they print you out a big cardboard check. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be fun. If I end up not winning one, I'll just make my own.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. But that'd be pretty cool. But anyway, hey, we enjoyed having you on, and thanks for coming in and sitting down with us and talking a little bit of fishing. And say good luck to the rest of the season for you.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, you guys.
All righty. All right. Well, thanks, Alvin, for filling in, and always a pleasure to have you on, my friend. And
hey, I'm here all the time. You know that.
Oh yeah, I know, man.
Available.
Yep. And check out the TAAO live. I got on my Roku. Works really well on Roku. So y'all tune in. Got a lot of great channels and shows.
Yeah. In fact, of course, it won't come up now. I hate my house.
Oh man,
I got the worst internet in the world.
Oh man,
actually,
always.
Yep. Look at that.
We're live on the phone.
Live and in person. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, hey, thank you, Rose, and thank you, Alvin.
Thanks,
And
All right, hey, anytime,
and-
Rose. Good luck. And
Thanks, guys.
like Rob said, man, maybe we'll see you again in October.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'll try the buzz bait with the frog. Got it.
yeah, dude.
Hey, try it. You'll never know.
Yep.
All right. Well, good luck with that. And hey, thanks everybody for tuning in, subscribing, and we'll see you tomorrow. We have John from Co-Anglers app on tomorrow. Great app. So check us out tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern. So thanks everybody, and have a good night.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
care.
See you guys. All right. Thanks.